Hello everyone, Paweł Manowiecki, Qlik. I had the pleasure to join you from Warsaw office of Qlik, which is an office for Eastern Europe. I'm Polish. I worked for many years in Metro Group, maybe you know it, a retailer having quite large data sets in fact. And I joined 4 years ago Qlik, although I knew Qlik since, in fact, 10 years already. And I must say, it's not a lie that I'm in love with Qlik. I dedicated my lifetime, last 10 years, for that. Let me share with you today my very practical approach to the challenge of the data sets we have all in enterprises. And I will show you how our customers are managing challenging data sets, the largest ones, with our product, with the product of Qlik Sense in particular. So let me start with this sentence, which in fact was not beta tested in this large room, but it says that, for example, a car, the guy from US Secretary of Transportation, which is our customer, says that car may produce an exabyte of data a year, billions of gigabytes, yeah? But most is completely meaningless. I don't know if you have ever tried to load data from your car. I did, from 2 cars, one from 99, sub from the year 99, and the first one from 2008. And you know, it's plenty of data, but just portion of it can be really consumed. So, in my humble opinion, the challenge we have is to make good usage out of big data sets, to really adopt as much as we can out of that. And I want to share with you what's the Qlik strategy. First of all, make it accessible for multiple people. Second of all, give it in the context. Yeah? People need that. You can store data. In fact, nowadays it's quite cheap to do it. You can go for Hadoop systems. You can go for commercial versions of Hadoop. Storage is not an issue anymore. Yeah? We all have on our laptops more data than ever created in the history of humankind before. And we need to keep big data relevant. That's the way how we as Qlik see how you can get return on investment out of using Qlik. And there's one story I want to explain by giving you a full picture as a picture. Small switch of technologies from Microsoft to Apple. And I want to draw you one story. So it all starts, in my humble opinion, with people. So let's start with a picture of people. And I hope producer will, now I start. Cool. All fine? Let's start with the picture of people, because I want to use you as a background for my story. Don't get offended, I will delete that later on. And my years, can we improve colors? I have better colors. Should I unplug and plug in? You know, I have a full palette on iPod, and you have just 4 colors on the screen. Okay, is it looking good? Then I will use basic colors. So the story I wanted to tell you is a vision. Qlik do really start with thinking about data analysis from people. And if I look at the enterprises I talk to, and we visit huge companies, small companies, medium-sized companies, it's always a set of different roles in the organizations who want to do something with the data. And I would say we start with the smallest exclusive group, which I would name, let's give it a name, and it's data scientists. You know, these people have certain level of skills which required a couple of years of education. You know, gentlemen who made the hackathons things with TensorFlow and stuff. I'm really jealous about their skill set. Probably I'm already too old to learn it, so I give it away to other people. These are data scientists, and they really, truly know, you know, how to make an integer from any function. I already lost this knowledge. That's the first specialized group, highly specialized. They tend to need a different set of functionalities, different set of tools. Now, how do you think, what's the next group? So the next group, size matters in my story. So the second group for me is group which I will start to label controllers, so controlling, maybe reporting. You know, these kind of people who you have since years, they are the ones who learn the story of business intelligence. They sometimes go to trainings of various OLAP tools or different tools, and their set of knowledge is something about, you know, using sum, using total, using, I don't know how it's in Hungarian, but in English Excel it's called VLOOKUP. That's their work. Maybe sometimes they go for, you know, delta, so a difference between budget and actuals, or plan and actuals. That's the word of controlling. And I tend to believe, I mean, 10 years ago, when I thought I'm a BI expert, I was here. This was not existing, and the other group which we draw, we tend to ignore, because they were picking up the phone, calling us to give us something, so that we can give us something. And let's say I was young and stupid, and I hope I adapted a little bit my experience since then, because the most important part of the piece, sorry for red, but you know, they are hot. You know, they are the core of the soil of the business. It's business. Boo, oh, and I make a mistake in stress. You know, with real paper, you don't go back. I have an undo button. Business users. And make a guess, what's their lingua franca? I tell you. They are focused to bring money. They don't care which technology will help them to do that. They don't care that something is impossible. They don't care that analyzing market basket means processing terabytes of data 1,000 times. They don't care. They want to do business. They want from the others the support. And the problem, in my humble opinion, is that for years, no one has tried to accommodate it. No one has tried to support them. And our aim is to bring technology of Qlik to all of these groups. But it's not like, you know, every group have different set of skills, so require different set of functions. And we worked for years to think about that, how every of these users group can onboard the system. So being in this group, this has to be very easy, you know, because they are just about money. They never learned BI tools. They never learned sign in mathematics, maybe. Or they ignore it. It's not like they learned it, but it was 30 years ago. It's better to count on the belly filling than on mathematics or advanced mathematics. And the idea of Qlik with Qlik platform is, in fact, to make it all green. That means we have a platform which, in my opinion, is well structured to give you easy onboarding, give you functions according to your skill level. And in fact, these people, business user, require something I call guided analytics, prepared by these people. These people start to require self-service analytics. They have a new data set, they want to do something with that. And data scientists needs a tool like Qlik to visualize or experiment with the data they have in big data sources, in Hadoop environments, with using machine learning, every sexy stuff of the current data science. And that's the beginning of the story. What's our vision? We want to give this to everyone. Now it's a small switch, and the producer probably is not happy that I'm changing resolutions, but how to make it practically. So Qlik Sense is in fact a platform, analytical platform where we can take multiple data sets from multiple technologies, but because we are now focused on talking about big data, topic big data is a variety of many logos. You can go for Hadoop systems or no Hadoop. You have representatives of Cloudera here, one of the most successful commercial Hadoop producers we partner with. And on the other side, you can have, and that's what I remember from the past, very strong Teradata systems which can keep large volumes of data, but they are structured in the database way. And for me, all of the data sets, these data sets which I tend to call exotic, because non-exotic data sets are for me Excel, normal database, maybe something from the web. This is for me an exotic territory where everything is changing like a moving target, and you need to catch it up. Yeah, you need to connect to the newest version. There is another subsystem on Cloudera. Is there connectivity? It all grows. Sometimes you speed it up with accelerators, and there are some logos inside, because please remember that Hadoop out of the box, meaning the MapReduce algorithm which you will download, is a slow batch process. Yeah? So it started with Hadoop, which then went into HDFS and many other things which are loading on top. But the point is, these commercial systems like Cloudera, these commercial accelerators are bringing it up to a speed because users require speed. The point is, if you see this from bottom up, in fact, more or less, maybe not in this case, Google BigQuery is a fast thing, but starting from core Hadoop things up to Cloudera to accelerators, you get speed. Yeah? So it starts with minutes of processing, maybe with hours of processing, ends with maybe 1 minute, maybe half a minute of processing. And then on top, we with Qlik Sense are aiming to give millisecond experience on that. In various ways. So my story was that I want to share with you what are the design patterns. So how our platform is used by our customers to make a usage out of, let's say, normal data sets, exotic data sets, to bring it useful for the end users. And we have a set, I don't know if from the distance it's visible, of five approaches. And maybe the quickest way for me is to draw a picture. Once more, a small switch. New picture. Let's put it in gray. This will be the background of our story. So, on the left side, you have something which I tend to call not big data anymore, because for me it's more than big data what I want to draw here. Data lakes seems to be quite a good wording and approach, where in the data lake, for sure you have, and let's maybe start the dotted line, here we have Hadoop systems, Cloudera. We go down, we think about Teradata. We think about Google BigQuery. And it's not the end. Neither it's not the beginning of the story. Yeah, because for me the beginning is here, and this will be for years like that. Talk to me in the break, in another break. I have a story for that. Excel will stay forever, and let's just accept it. Then when we go up, of course, there are some databases of Microsoft, Oracle. There is data in the web. There is data in REST APIs. You know, multiple points which we can use for the story. Yeah? That's why it's lake. Huh? It's not. Every company will have multiple data sources. I remember from the past that there was a dream to unify everything in single technology. And this dream is continued in some companies till now. I tell you, forget about that. Forget about that. There will be always a set of multiple storage technologies which will be dedicated for certain use cases. And you will use a mixture of that always. Don't go for data warehouses. Times of data warehouses are gone with the wind, in my humble opinion. Then data lake is getting, of course, connected through Qlik platform. And I will tell you what kind of stories we can have here. Last but not least, let's not forget about human beings, right? Because it's all about human beings in the end, who are supported with these vast technologies. Also, I would discuss for hours with anyone claiming that machine can do things automatically. There is no black box system. There is no magical algorithm which will tell you the future. Yeah? I heard recently on one TED Talk that this dream will come true if my computer will start to talk to my printer first. Yeah? So if we solve the basic problem of human beings, connecting laptop to printer, then we can think about Androids, making everything automatic. It's always people using this technology. So at the very end of my picture, and I hope I will do it in the correct color, but the wrong tool, these are these three personas, which I was mentioning, these three people. Let's draw them. This one is a data scientist. So data scientist will be probably looking like that. Then there is a controller. He always looks at percent. And then there is a normal business user, which thinks about money. And we have to deliver to all of them. We have to give them platform so that they can reach out. So dream of Qlik is make these three people happy, that they can touch the data, not that Hadoop things will be only for data scientists, that Excel will be only for business people, and that there will be still islands in analytics in the company. We want to give people chance according to their skills. Maybe somebody using Excel will start to be a controller, will go for studies and become a data scientist. You know, young people manage to become data scientists in 1 year. Why business users shouldn't? Let's pay attention now to the story of the middle. Qlik consists of something we call apps. There are apps in Qlik. That's our core idea. And first part of that, which I will start from, I will write this box from from the hot data to very cold data. Because these scenarios are coming along. What's hot data? Hot data is something you go and analyze every day, 9 o'clock, you need to check KPIs. It's hot. If it doesn't work, someone from IT is punch in the face, or controlling guys have a tough morning. So for me, this first use case, this first box is called the box. You can get whatever you wish to the box out of these data sets. Yeah? Of course, we have connectivity to these data sources. And this is guided analytics. Guided analytics. Not a fresh term on the market. It's just well defined now. Somebody, mainly that team of people, is preparing for the others a view on data sets. Yeah. So they have already KPIs, dashboard, they visit every day, they don't have to build up from scratch. This you may know. Second element is self-service. And in fact, this self-service is for all of the free persons, because the business guy will do a little bit of self-service on top of guided analytics app, which is possible with Qlik. The business guy will experiment with any data sets he has. Yeah, I know companies who are, I have today a new data set because some partner sent me an Excel or a database. I need to look what's inside. But isn't it different from data science experience? No, because they tend to collect just more Excels in the form of huge databases, and they also want to touch the topic and drill into details. So that's a second case. And maybe it's time for a first demo. For that, I think I don't know where my presentation should end according to the latency, but someone will give me a hint. Show me the number. 3 minutes. Can you make analytics in 3 minutes? No. You need to have 5. So let me speed up by showing you partially loaded data. This is data loaded from Hadoop, because we can add to a Qlik It got a little bit sleepy during my talk, like the audience probably. Nevertheless, more of that creation will be shown by a colleague from Nextent later on, but I want to give a wrap-up overview, and my Wi-Fi is not contributing with me. So you can add any data set. That's a window, maybe not well looking now, maybe now better, from multiple sources. We don't require you to load first to a single database and then use it in Qlik. And in fact, I have here connected to Cloudera Impala. Cloudera is our technology partner, where I have Wi-Fi logs on the machine. And of course, I want to discover the data which is inside. So let's make a chart which will show how many bytes, this is Wi-Fi log, how many bytes were used by multiple applications. Maybe let's add a map which will show where this happened with the cities. Maybe let's use line chart to show how over timing this also happens. Once more, bytes. And the pretty thing is maybe some colors here, because people tend to like colors. Let's switch on colors by dimension. And the core of Qlik is that once you load the data and visualize it with a vast set of charts out of the box or via extensions, it starts to be associative. So I can see by clicking, there's an app called Biwax, where it's used in the country, in which timing I can focus on certain timing, and so on, and analyze this data right away. So I don't have to be prepared what's in the data set. I want to experience this with my own hands through a perspective of multiple charts, which are there on the left, or even extensions, because we are extendable. You can write JavaScript extension to Qlik, which will be fitted with the data and will be visualized with the data. Probably someone in the back wants to kill me. 5 minutes? 2. Last minute was short. Just to conclude my picture and a short demo, there is another approach which we called on-demand app generation. Because if big data contains large volume, we don't want to shift everything to Qlik, although we can have here, just to be clear, let's say 500 million rows, just a warning. So Qlik can do that, no harm, on a simple machine. But once you go for more, so you're really big data, you do a trick which is following. You have a template app which is empty and just defines the structure of the visualization. You have something called selection app, and then you have an on-demand app which is created through APIs, because platforms have APIs. So we call APIs out of Qlik, we call APIs of Qlik, and create an app on the fly. And I just hope to end with that demo. You go into selection app, and within selection app, you are on some top level. Yeah, you have some aggregates, not yet details. If you want to jump into details and understand the details, you don't keep it in the memory of Qlik, and you don't require to have millisecond experience with that. You're going for, I have some bookmark which dives into a small portion of 92 accounts from this bank. And on the left bottom side, you have a component which says, because the data set is already limited, the green bubble says that, you can generate a new app. And just for sake of time, this is fetched from Cloudera right now via Impala in a parameterized way. So parameters are coming from the app, which is selection, and now the app is built up. I will open something I clicked just minutes ago. And these on-demand apps you steer, you want them to be deleted in 1 hour, 2 hours, or maybe 3 days, and it's automatically closed and captured. So you leave data where it is, and once you are interested in certain subset, you bring it alive and you give it to millisecond user experience, the way how we tend to, the experience we want to give to every user using Qlik. Yeah, we are not a big data system, which is more batch, which would require 5 minutes, 1 minute. We want to give, on top of 500 million rows, an experience of millisecond. You click, you get the answer, and it's fine. And let's say all of that is embedded in the presentation, maybe with less pictures. Thank you very much for listening patiently to my presentation, and I give back my voice to organizer.